Welcome back to the Business Immigration Benchmark. As always, I'm your host, Laura Bloniers. Today we're diving into e-filing. With H-1B cap season well behind us, we are seeing some denials surfacing related to digital signatures. So I want to dive into how e-filing can avoid this challenge and a little bit about the due process issues that are surfacing related to these cap notice of intent to deny and denials. So let's dive right in. So, what's working? I know I have transitioned our clients into e filing and, in fact, adopted the e filing for our H-1B cap season. While there was a little bit of growing pains, getting set up, learning how to navigate the system and partner with our corporate clients. Ultimately, we felt that this cap season with e-filing was a success. I think, the best and biggest win for e-filing is immediate confirmation of receipt from USCIS with a receipt notice. So in years past, when you had to file the whole packet, you were worried about whether there was some deficiency that would cause a rejection and for your client to lose out on their H-1B cap selection. With e-filing, the immediate feedback, the immediate receipt notice offers both the client, the foreign national, and the attorney the assurance that the case will continue processing and that if a RFE is issued, one of the real big benefits of the online filing is that the RFE is immediately available in the system. So there's also not that additional delay time of the attorney having to wait for post to receive the request for evidence. So overall, our H-1B cap season was successful. And I will say that, moving into e-filing, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. We're going to be seeing at the end of October, USCIS no longer accepting checks. So another great reason that if you haven't already adopted e-filing, to check in with your immigration law firm to talk about what that looks like for your program and how to get involved. If you've got any questions about how to navigate the system, I'm not saying USCIS has the best technology. It surely has some quirks, but once you're in it, you can learn how to navigate it. And I'm here to answer any questions you have as you're setting up your accounts and if you want any tips or tricks. And maybe we should have even a session about that. It's a great little brainstorming session we're having here. But yeah, what we've been seeing on the message boards out there in US immigration is that there are some companies that received, hundreds of NOIDs because they filed their CAP petitions with a digital signature. Now, I will say USCIS, after accepting digital signatures for years and publishing official guidance on the ability to accept or provide digital signatures to the government, quietly altered this policy after many programs had already filed their CAP petitions for this year's CAP season. And so, what programs are being faced with if they didn't premium process their CAP cases, they're being met with notice of intent to deny based on a digital signature. As of the date of this recording, I am not aware of any litigation that is pending, but I do think this issue is likely to be litigated given the due process concerns. The change from accepting the digital signature to not accepting and denying on this basis without any notification, again, is USCIS contradicting itself. So I do think that if and when this issue gets pushed into federal courts, I do think it's a very obvious win for petitioners and foreign nationals alike. The NOIDs are identifying the digital reproduced signature. So this could be a signature that was captured, scanned, and then applied digitally. It appears that USCIS is using AI to identify when this is used on petitions. And while accepting the petition, accepting the filing fees, it's only months later that USCIS is issuing these notice of intent to deny and really not accepting any argument at this point that I know of to overturn at the USCIS level for a favorable outcome for the petitioner. So really quite challenging. And if you're in this scenario, I think there are, like I said, some immigration litigators that are pursuing this or will pursue it in the weeks ahead. The one thing I think that is the benefit of the e-filing is that the digital signature issue is not coming into play because it is submitted online and For the company to submit the application, it requires a authorized company representative to authorize the filing through the, like, digital handshake process that is required. So, one thing you'll wanna work with your immigration partner on is, setting up your accounts and setting up a process of how to do this. I do think that the e-filing does require the company authorizing representative to have, I think, more time per petition, because there are a lot of clicks involved in the submission process for the company side. So, one recommendation is, if you haven't already started the e-filing process with your immigration law firm, is to understand whether you have the capacity or who has the capacity on the client side to be the authorizing company representative in my USCIS. And you can work collaboratively across teams. So it doesn't have to just be one person. You can have multiple people assigned to support this activity. So, just as a wrap up here, I think for those teams that have already adopted the e-filing procedures, I think this NOID trend is not impacting them. And if you're looking to get out of, the sort of wet signature process that regrettably USCIS has forced companies back into, adopting e-filing will be your route forward. Again, for what I believe to be a more favorable process for foreign national companies and attorneys alike, given that there is clarity in the receipting. Documents do not get lost in this process. They're all very clearly available online. And if there are notifications for the petition, they're immediately available to both the company and the attorney on the portal. So I think there are tremendous benefits to e-filing in addition to avoiding the NOID challenge that is surfacing for these CAP petitions and others alike. If you've got questions about e-filing, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. If you had great experience, would love to hear you talk about it. If you're comfortable coming on here and sharing your experience with e-filing. That's it for us here at the Business Immigration Benchmark. Thanks for joining the conversation. We'll catch you next time.